Alright, hi guys. So yesterday we started working on some different kinds of patterns and um, we practiced with the patterns that we have used in the past. So we looked at multiples of 2, multiples of 5, things like that to find the rule, and then you had to practice with some arrays. So today we're going to look at more types of patterns before we move on to our Google form that we'll fill out for lesson 7-9. So draw pictures or make diagrams or charts to help you answer the questions below. So if Mary and Tran each gave each other one card, how many cards were traded in all? So as we know, if Mary has one card and Tran has one card, and they trade between each other, they each give each other one card. Yes, 2 cards were traded. So that one's easy. You could have just drawn that as 2 people, just switching cards off to each other. Yeah, so if Mary, Tran, and Helga each had 2 cards and all gave each other a card, how many cards were traded in all? So you have something like Mary, Tran, and Helga all trading cards. So Mary gave a card to Helga, and Mary gave a card to Tran. And Helga gave a card to Mary, and Helga gave a card to Tran. And then we had Tran, who gave a card to Mary and gave a card to Helga. So you can see that we did trade 6 cards in all. The picture really helps us to see exactly how many cards were traded, because you can go through and count each arrow to know that there were 6 cards that were traded, and you can also see that how many cards were going from one person to another. So the same thing would happen for letter C. So if Mary, Tran, and Helga, and Felipe each had 3 cards and all gave each other a card, how many cards were traded in all? You could draw a similar picture to that, showing something like Mary, Tran, Felipe, and Helga. Oops. And you can show, here's the first card Mary gives, second card Mary gives, third card Mary gives. So you can go ahead and do something like that, so you know that I don't even have to draw the rest of the card. If each person, or the rest of the picture, because if each person is giving 1, 2, 3 cards, and we know that there's 4 people, you know, it wouldn't be a math lesson without a barking dog. 4 people, 3 times. It's okay, they like guessing which dog's barking. That's going to get us to 12 cards, so 4 times 3 equals 12. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill in this chart below. So fill in the first 2 lines of the chart using your answers from above. Find the pattern and use it to fill in the rest of the chart. Then answer the questions below. So we know if there's 2 people and the equation is 2 times 2 minus 1 equals 2, we have 2 cards because, like we had here with the multiplication example, we had 4 people, so this first number is going to be the amount of people. So I'll put it just P for people. And then you'll see that 2 minus 1, because there's only going to be 1 card per person. So how many cards are being exchanged in all? 2, because each person had 1 card. So here you'll see if there's 3 people, we're going to do 3 people times the number of cards. They each had 2 cards. So we know that 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 times 3 equals 6. So with 12 people, with the 4 people, we're going to start with 4 times 4 minus 1, because they each had 3 cards. So what you're doing is you're the pattern that we're seeing here is the number of people, there's going to be one less card per person than the number of people. So we had 2 people, but they each only had 1 card. So 2 minus 1 equals 1. We had 3 people, but they each only had 2 cards. 3 minus 1 equals 2. So there's going to be 1 less card than the number of people that you have total. 4 minus 1 equals 3. 3 times 4 equals 12. So it makes it a lot easier than having to go through and having to draw out the pictures when you know the equation for the pattern that you're working with. So here we'll see that there's 6 people. So 6 times the number of cards that you have, which is going to be 6 people minus 1, because there's always going to be 1 less card per person than there are people. So 6 minus 1 we know equals 5, and 5 times 6 equals 30. And for the last one, if there's 7 people, we know 7 times 7 minus 1, which equals 6, and then we know 7 times 6 equals 42. So when it says what rule describes the pattern in the chart, you can say something like you'd multiply the number of people times the number of people minus 1 to get your final answer. So go ahead now and you're going to fill out the Google form that I have attached to this assignment, and you're going to submit that, and I'm going to grade that. So I will see you later, and we have a Google Help session on Thursday at 1 o'clock if you need it.